What's up, guys? Welcome to the 7th episode of Never Offside with Julie and Kat. Today, we will be joined by Kenzie Larkin, who is the wife of Dylan Larkin, the captain of the Detroit Red Wings. And you two were just together. You're always together, but you two were just together.
Yeah, she's my neighbor. She's my friend. She's my captain's wife. I joke. I like to call her Captain Mac, and she hates it. Yeah. So you just got back from Montreal. You had a nice little stay there.
Yeah. I'm doing my faux pas right now.
Here she goes.
Here I go. I had a great time in Montreal, so I'm wearing my favorite Montreal line change.
I love it.
Per usual. But yeah, it was great. It was amazing. You know, got all the steps in, saw all the people, went to Boda Boda, had a nice off day with Ty. For people that haven't been in Montreal, Boda Boda is this like magical spa water circuit on a boat on the canal. It's just, you know, I go there, I hit up my favorite spots, and I just love it. So it was great. I missed you. But
I know there's so much. I feel like every week it's like so much to catch up on. And like we just got back from Stadium Series, and I feel like this Monday hit me harder than usual Mondays. It feels like I got hit by a Mack truck. There's so much build up to these outdoor games for families and like planning with the kids. And, you know, my line change did the jackets for the wives. And we did like these track suits too. So I was like so busy coordinating all of that leading up.
They were amazing, by the way. Amazing.
Thank you. They turned out, and then the weather was perfect for it all. It just literally stars aligned. But it was just like so much build up for that, and like what the kids were wearing and making sure we had the right layers. And then the game itself, it was really such a fun weekend. And I think from like my perspective of like, this was our 4th outdoor game experience. I also like wasn't like baby strapped. Like I was finally like, I could like enjoy all the things that led up and were around it. The family skate was so much fun. I was actually out there like playing hockey with my boys and the player. Like it was just fun.
I feel like they've been getting better too. You know what I mean? Like, because we've been to a few, you've been to 4. Like I feel like they just keep getting more fun, and you know.
Yeah. And maybe it's the anxiety is less because I kind of know what to expect, so it's less guessing game. But I just like, it was so different, and just like taking it all in from a different angle, because it very well could be our last. So I'm just like enjoying it, and the boys at their ages, just living life. Like that is just such a cool experience that I kept harping to them, like, you guys, this is the most special thing. So to be able to do that with our family, and then just the girls, like it's like such like surreal moments, like with the jackets and things like that, to see them in life on the girls, styled to perfection. And just I everywhere I looked, I was just like, oh my gosh, this can't be real. And then the game itself was like so fun, and it like there were 2 points on the line. Like we are in this playoff contention, and it is like it wasn't just like, you know, the freebie game. It's like it meant something. So that made it even more exciting. And wasn't the result the Wings wanted, but, you know, came out of it with just, ultimately it was an amazing experience. And the NHL did an amazing job. And Ohio faithful showed up. The crowd was incredible. The whole thing was really great.
It was very fun to watch on TV as a fan. Kind of funny because obviously people know that I don't watch Ty's games out of superstition, so I don't even know how to turn on one of his games. So I tuned into this while he's on the road. Probably he's going to hate me for that. But it was so fun to watch. And honestly, I was like reflecting during it. Like it was just so cool. Like all these big games, you know, 4 nations, and then this game, and you guys getting to be a part of it. And I was just like reflecting on Ty's career in a weird way. And I was just like, they've been in so many cool opportunities, experiences. They have so many cool things that they've gotten to do in their careers. And I thought about some of my favorite things that I've gotten to see him do. So I kind of wanted to hear what, other than this game, some of yours.
Oh gosh, hit me on the spot. I would say every every outdoor game is an experience and one that like sticks out in my head, but like specific milestones or things like that, I think are what like I remember of Jeff. And like obviously the Stanley Cup run is something that I think of with Jeff. All of the, and then there's all the things that like people don't know, just like the moments of adversity that they're facing throughout a season that they overcome and they just bear the burden of, and then they get through it. And that's like a personal thing, right? It's like those invisible things. I think those are the ones that stick out to me. But like, I just feel like there's all these like big moments in games too, but there's so many of them when you've played a million years.
Yeah.
I can't really pinpoint one, but
Yeah. I mean, why I thought about it was because part of Ty's, a big part of his career was an outdoor game, scoring that hat trick, getting dealt the next day.
Crazy.
And just stuff like that. So it's just so cool to be able to reflect on just, they've done a lot of cool stuff in their careers. And it's stuff like watching that game yesterday that you take it back and you're like, wow.
Yeah, totally. You step back and you get to like think like you get to be a part of something like this. This is so cool. Mm-hmm. And these outdoor games do make you take that step back. Yeah. It was really incredible. I had to say though, the Columbus Blue Jackets, like there was all the tributes and everything around the Goudreau family leading into this game and how they incorporated their family and all the different aspects. And I actually got to catch up with Meredith before the game. Our family rooms were right next to each other, and I walked right by her and I saw her rocking her baby, and I went up to her, and it was the first time I've seen her, and I just gave her the biggest hug, and we caught up for a little bit, and just her demeanor and her spirit is so powerful and so strong, and she is just filled with so much faith and strength. And I just know that this hockey community and the hockey family around her is helping her grieve and get through this. And I got to witness it firsthand, and just giving her a hug was you feel so helpless in these things. And I found myself during the weekend just being like, damn, he should be here. Like, it guts you to pieces, and to see their family just rips your soul apart. But then to see the beauty around this whole community come together like this whole weekend did is also so powerful. And I know that is what is helping them get through. And I can't help but watch the Columbus Blue Jackets play hockey this year and not think that there's a spirit within them that wasn't there before, and that is Johnny Hockey. Like, and I told that to Meredith. I was like, and she was like, right? Like, you can't help it. Like, each one of those players is filled with something different, and it just, whether you're playing against them or not, you can feel it and you can see it. And I don't like it's an incredible thing to witness, and I'm here for it. Even if we're battling in the playoff contention spots, like, that is something spiritually you cannot deny.
Yeah. She is so amazing and so strong, and that powerful, all those powerful moments, like the entire game, it was just like you said, it was amazing to watch, and all of the feelings. So I'm really glad that she was surrounded by you guys and all the love. So.
All right, and up next, we're going to talk with Kenzie Larkin, wife of Dylan Larkin, captain of the Red Wings. We'll touch more on the Stadium Series, their experience at Four Nations, and his incredible goal there and their interaction, and what they're watching on TV. So that's up next. Hey, Kens, welcome to the podcast. We're so excited to have you. Kenzie Larkin here. Kat, meet Kens. Actually, I think you guys have already met before. One random dinner.
When was that? What year was that?
It was 2019 because we were on the way to Alec Martinez's wedding in Traverse City, I believe.
Yeah.
And we had one random night that we could see the peach trees, and I got to meet you. So
Yeah.
Yes, so Kenzie and Dylan are our neighbors. We live on the same street. I could actually probably wave to each other
Yeah.
right now. So happy to have you here. We have so much to catch up on, debrief from the weekend and
I
all the
know.
things.
I know. I'm excited. Thanks for having me, guys.
it's
course.
funny that you two could literally be in the same room together because you're so close.
Well, I
know.
had said that. I was like, can we record together?
Producing separately works better.
One day.
So they say.
Yeah.
One day we'll have this whole thing set up as a studio, maybe.
So give me some like neighbor details. Like, do you guys have any like traditions or anything that you do?
I mean, you go, Ken. What's your insight of the neighborhood?
Well, I mean, I feel like our summers are the best.
Yeah.
Like
We live on a street with a million kids. Dylan and Ken's bring the average age down, and they are the house that our kids go to for endless amounts of Starbursts, all the things. Just they're like the big kids on the street that take care of our kids when they want to escape.
Yeah, we're like old souls, though. We always say that.
Let's get into a little bit of sleep habits when guys are on the road. I think Kat and Ken's, you guys can commiserate on your lack of sleep. I just knock out, like, no, nothing.
What are your habits?
I mean, I don't really sleep. Like, I mean, my TV has to be on. Every light in the house is on. I'm sure Julie can just see my house is like beaming. But my routine is that I text our little neighbor group chat and make sure everyone is home before
And we
I,
all
like,
have to
close my
give
eyes.
her a salute that we have made it
Mhm.
home and we are all safe.
Okay, I can very much relate. I do the same thing. I need lights on, I need TV on. And here's a question for you. Do you have like a certain safety thing that you have on TV that you know nothing can go wrong if you have that on, you know?
Yeah, Sex in the City.
Oh, that makes total
Always.
sense. That's a good one.
Mhm. Yeah,
Mine
always.
mine was Ricky Bobby for the longest time. I would just like have that like on repeat because nothing can go wrong if like Will Ferrell's Ricky Bobby on my screen,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Now it's just like Bravo, I guess, but
Yeah, and
Sex in-
E. Yeah.
yeah. Sex in the City, that's a good one. Like nothing's gonna go wrong if
No. But then sometimes if I fall asleep, all of a sudden my TV will sometimes turn off. And then
Mm.
I wake up and it's pitch black and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I start panicking and I'm like putting my lights on. It's, yeah, the whole
It's
thing.
just so funny because then when like the guys get back from a road trip, it's like we're like, okay, we can all be at ease. Everyone's home. And like Jeff's been injured. So he's been home like for all these road trips. And even Ken's, I think you can attest, it's like we don't get the text at night because there's at least Jeff is on the street. Like we're
Yes.
good.
Yes.
So
That's nice safety.
Yes.
So since we have only met once, I'm going to throw you a listener question that we got a ton, and I actually don't know. So how did you and Dylan meet?
We met, I guess we could say a little bit through Instagram, but one of my best friends used to be on, well, yeah, they played in Detroit, Ashley and Tyler Bertuzzi, and they're from Sudbury, Ontario, and I'm from North Bay, so it's about like an hour drive, and we grew up together. And I was visiting Ash at the time, and I think what happened is when, you know, when you follow someone, someone comes up on your Instagram, it's like you're like suggested.
mhm.
So I think when Dylan and Ash started following each other, I came up and somehow, I don't know, Dylan says like I came up and then I disappeared and then I came up again. So I was like, it's kind of mystery.
Oh, I love that.
And then finally he DM'd me and then I had messaged Ash and I was like, did you tell him to DM me? And she's like, no, that's so weird. And then that was the Halloween party. And she's like, you messaged my best friend. And then I happened to be coming that weekend. So it's crazy how it worked out. But yeah, now the rest is history.
Instagram and DMs is just the modern day love story, especially in the NHL.
It
apparently.
really is.
It really is. Yeah.
That's so funny.
It
Well,
moved from like high school sweethearts or like childhood sweethearts to meeting at the bar to now DMs and Snapchat.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, that's how we met.
lovely. And so Dylan is basically Mr. Michigan, right?
Yes.
does he have like a key to any of the cities or like a key to like the state or something like?
If
No.
he doesn't, his dad does. Kevin does. Kevin's like the mayor.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Kevin does not actually, but no, Dylan does not.
It's so funny. Yeah, I was googling him and I was just like, wow, he really just that state and him are just like the
I
same,
know.
I guess.
What I kind of know the answer to this, but I'll pretend like I don't. But I think a lot of listeners want to know what it's like to be married to the hometown boy. Like that's a lot of pressure. He was named captain of the Red Wings at such a young age, such responsibility. You see it from a different light, right? So,
Hmm.
like, what is that like? What does the support look like at home? All those sort of things.
I mean, I think like I mean, I was so new to this as well coming in, and I feel like when we first started dating, it all happened at once. So it was a lot for me, and I mean, it was a lot for him, and we were kind of just like navigating together, like the captaincy, us moving in together, COVID happened, like, it was a lot. I mean, we got through it and it was great. And there's pros and cons to, him being the hometown boy and never leaving Michigan, but it's great. And he's so good with people coming up and taking photos, and people are pretty respectful here too. So we never really have like too many issues, but privacy would be nice sometimes. You know what I mean?
How do you manage so many people probably wanting to go to games and all that stuff?
I mean, we do it. I feel like it's not that hard, and we don't get like too many people that like really want to go, and if we do, then we make it happen. So we're pretty generous in that sense.
So what where were you when he was okay, I should know this. Are you asked or are you told that you're going to be the captain?
Great question.
He that no, that's actually a great question. I'm just trying to even think about it. He was told. I guess,
Wow.
right? Like, yeah, I guess he was told,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't think he
I
would
mean,
ask because then
anybody
he
that's even considered for such position, I think, shows that they can handle it, whatever. And then if you're asked it, you're like, of course.
Do you
yeah.
remember where you guys were or he was when he was told that he was going to be captain?
I feel like he called me on his way home, but this was also the COVID year. So there wasn't like that big, like grand ceremony or anything. And I remember, Steve, the general manager of Detroit, he came over to the house.
Oh my gosh, I
Um,
remember the picture in your kitchen.
wait, no, wait, was that? I'm trying to remember now. No, I
I
think
can't remember either. Was that
I
his
think that was
contract
his
extension?
yeah, wait, no, that was his contract.
Either way, Steve Eiserman was in your kitchen and I was dying.
Yeah, I actually took the photo.
Yeah.
I'm like, say
Smile,
cheese.
guys.
That's what I said.
So he called you and what was his first reaction? Do you remember?
I mean, he was just like so I think he was taking it all in. And I wish I was like I because I can't remember his first initial reaction of like of him getting asked, but I know he was just like
Told.
so excited. Yeah, he was thrilled. And it was such a exciting moment, and yeah, it was great. And I was just so excited for him.
Amazing. Well, speaking of being the captain of Detroit, you guys had a very fun weekend. I want to hear all about it.
Yeah. Are you recovered, Kent? I feel like I got hit by a Mack truck after the Stadium Series weekend. It was just so filled with so much and so much fun. But I'm
I know.
like,
We ended up driving right after the game to go home.
oh, that's right.
How far
We
is it
dri-
again?
It's like 3 hours. It really wasn't a bad drive.
Yeah, like
It
you
was
said, the guys don't even sleep after the game, so it's like why sleep in a uncomfortable hotel room, get home, get comfy and get to sleep in. But
Yeah,
what
so
were
what
your thoughts? I have so many thoughts on the weekend. I want to hear your take on it.
I mean, this was my first outdoor experience, and it was so cool. I think being in Columbus was great. The fans were great. The atmosphere was awesome. They did such a good job. I absolutely loved it. And you know what? It wasn't that cold.
It was perfect. I thought the weather was couldn't have been better. Family skate, we had the best weather. It was just a little bit chilly. And then, you know what? Saturday it was a little frigid, but like it set the tone. It like set the atmosphere and I couldn't agree
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And Columbus faithful, man, they show up. I guess I didn't even really know what to expect. Like, is it going to be a 50-50 split? Like, it clearly was Blue Jacket fan heavy, but it was still electric and really exciting.
Yeah, I couldn't get over how many people were in that stadium. It was filled.
Yeah, it was. What did you think of? I loved Dylan's comment about playing in it's the
We were
ugliest stadium
dying.
he's ever played in. Did you see that?
Yeah, I actually got to witness that whole interview, which was my first time. Like he took me up to media and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so crazy how they just walk in, everyone's sitting in their chairs." So I was watching it and I was trying not to giggle because I'm like just in the background.
You literally just said this is the ugliest stadium. I couldn't agree more being a Michigan State Spartan. I think that was the running joke the whole weekend of like the Spartans and the Wolverines there were like, this is the only time you'll see us in red in this stadium because Ohio
Yeah.
State, no good.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was part of him saying that, like, just kind of to spark those fans, I guess.
Maybe. I don't even know. I was a wild thing, but I mean, you gotta love him. Just says what's on his mind.
So funny. Yeah, I didn't know if that was like some college, like, kind of like warfare or something, but it's funny.
I don't know.
Uh,
I haven't been to a lot of stadiums. Like I'm from Canada, like very northern Ontario, so it's just like to me I was like, oh, it's like ugly. I had no idea.
I think he said it tongue in cheek, just like I mean, it's old, it's over 100 years old, and it is historic, but more so of the rivalry. I think that's where um, it came from. But can you give more insight into Dylan's decision on the guys' walkout outfits and attire? Both Columbus and Detroit did such beautiful odes to the Goudreau family. I know Dylan had been thinking on it a long time,
Hmm.
and it was really special.
When he came to me with that, I feel like he just knew that he needed to do that. Like there was no other thought. He's like, we're gonna do this, and I was like, that's beautiful, and I couldn't have agreed more. And then you and I had talked about doing the patches, which I love that we did that. So, yeah, no, Dylan came to me with that idea and I said it was absolutely great. So I don't even think he thought twice about it.
It was awesome. I thought it was such a classy gesture, and just the way they included both Maddie and
Hmm.
Johnny's jerseys. I don't think anybody expected it, but then when they walked out, it was like, that's it. Like,
Yeah, it was super powerful.
super powerful. And I mean, you and I both saw Meredith at the game and just how meaningful um, that was to them. I think, just goes to show again, the hockey family is going to be there for them till the end of time,
For sure. Yeah, and I'm happy that we were able to support that and always will.
for sure. Um, Segueing from outdoor game series, you've come off a lot the last few weeks. We just got home from Stadium Series. Before that, you guys were in Four Nations. Can you? There's so much to unpack from it. Like personally, you and I've discussed it, but like Dylan playing in these games that were so meaningful, and so he played incredibly. Like as his wife, what are your feelings watching this unfold? And in Montreal, a stadium you've never been to see him play. Like how did that feel?
I was very nervous. I was just like the excitement I had for him, but also like the nerves was unexplainable. And honestly, I mean, I haven't been through really playoffs, but it would feel like that for sure, if not more. But the Montreal atmosphere was electric.
Would you say that's like the biggest stage you've watched him in person
Yes,
play?
yes, 100%. Yeah,
I mean, it was crazy. That we talked about this with Natalie Miller last week, but just that USA Canada game in Montreal was absolute chaos. And what was going through your mind during it?
I remember when it first started and there was those two fights. And I just all I knew was thinking of like that his like he's going on, like that's his next line. So I was thinking like, oh my gosh, is he gonna drop the gloves, you know?
Oh no.
So I was so frightened that that was gonna happen, but he it didn't, and it was the coolest game. And when he had scored during that game, it was also very cool because we were able to like make eye contact with him when he scored. And it was like everything and more. I wish I
Oh,
could relive that moment. Yeah, it
I
was
love
super
that.
cool. Yeah.
Were you all sitting with each other, like all the wives sitting together?
Yeah, we actually were, and I was sitting beside my in-laws, so and I think he knew exactly where we were. So when he did score, like it was just the coolest thing. Because we
Did
weren't,
he
we're never that close, you know. So, but like for to actually like catch him in that moment and actually make eye contact, it was very, very cool.
did you get like a point? Like did he like point up or anything?
No, he was just so excited. He had like the biggest smile on his face, and like I
Oh,
think we all just shot up, and it was so cool. I don't even know where my water went. It was in my hand, and it was gone.
Were the happy hops back? Dylan's the king
You
of
know
the
what?
happy hops.
I don't think I saw the happy hops.
We'll save those for Red Wings playoffs.
Yeah,
can you explain what the
exactly.
happy hops are? Because I'm in the dark here.
He, I think it just had started near like the end of the season last year, and every time he would score, he'd get these little like hops
It's
on the
like,
ice.
you know, you don't see a guy jump off his skates, like both skates, like at
Yeah.
one time. It was like the cutest thing. There was one night where Kens and another girl, Gina Gossespierre, came home. They went out during one, because we were in like playoff contention last year. Like
Mm.
we were like, you know, a point away literally from making playoffs. So the last like 10 games were so intense. And Gina and Kens had gone out and they came home and they came to my house and they're down in my hockey room and Ken's is shooting on Gina and Ken scores and she starts doing the happy hops and we're just now we call him the happy hops and every time Dylan, I think he did it at one game like a month ago when you texted me when he
Yeah.
scored, you're like, they're back, they're out.
Yeah, even if it's like such a good goal from like someone else, like he's just hopping away, you know, he's
Yeah,
just so excited. It's so cute.
we'll have to find video, but
Yeah.
That is
it's so cute.
really cute. Um, well, speaking of Detroit being in a contending spot, you know what was crazy? Watching that outdoor game for me as a fan, um, it was crazy that that game counted. You know what I mean? Like you just kind of thought it was like a fun game or something. I don't know,
Oh,
just like a spectacle.
totally.
So that was kind of wild. But
I
I
know it is
mean,
kind of weird when you think about that. I was thinking about that too in the moment. I was like, this is an actual like season game.
Yeah, it's not a freebie. And
Yeah.
those 2 points are important, which we could talk about the lack of call there, but we won't get into that. That's
Bite our
not for this
bite our tongue.
podcast.
No, we'll talk about it later.
Um, but yeah, where were you going with that, Kat? Sorry.
no, just I know honestly, just like that was just a thought I had because it's weird when you see a game like that, and you know you had just come off Four Nations and all this stuff, and then you watch that, and I feel like everyone was saying like during the post game interviews, they were like, or sorry, in between interviews, they were like, yeah, it's really cold, the conditions are kind of rough, but this counts, you know what I mean? So it was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like wild to just I guess think of it like that. So. But yeah, so anyway, a lot of people also were asking me what your favorite part of the Detroit organization is.
Oh my gosh, I feel like there's so many of them. Like Detroit, when I first came to Detroit, I mean, I don't know, are they asking more for like community wise or like the whole organization?
Anything. I mean, I'd love to hear more about the community wise.
Um, well, I guess like as an organization, I feel like they are so family driven. Like they will make sure, you know, everything family. Doesn't matter what situation you're in. If something's wrong, they will make sure that, you know, family's first. That's, you know, what I've learned since being here for about, I think what, like 6 years now. And I think that's everything and more is that they're also really prioritizing families.
Yeah,
Nice.
I couldn't agree more. The family room here in Detroit is probably one of the nicest rooms I've ever been in. So it just goes to show, like Ken said, like they're making it important that we're comfortable and we have really nice place to be while we like live at the rink essentially.
Hmm. For sure.
And then, so community wise, what are you guys most active with, I guess?
I feel like we do a lot of stuff like the humble design. I don't know. Did we do that yet? I can't even remember.
No, we haven't done it when I've been here yet, but because I think things got restructured. But each month we get sent out kind of like opportunities that are available for like us girls to do. I know Ken's and Dylan, you guys are doing things. Dylan's always doing things, it seems like, in his own regard. But the team has this community sense of like taking suggestions from us and like outsiders coming in for any of the girls who have ideas and putting them into action. And I don't know, Kens, I think more recently it's coming about that we're such a sports city that there's becoming more opportunities for us to become one with the other wives from the other teams, which is really special and unique.
Yeah, I know. I had seen an email recently go out. I guess is it the Pistons?
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to get together with like the Lions wives and the Tigers. So, and I think that would be so great for all of us to get, and even just to know each other,
Right.
you know?
I love a good crossover in a sports city. That's like my favorite thing.
Yeah, Kat, you are like the queen. Kat's like the queen connector. So Ken's Kat started out in baseball with the Dodgers. Like she was the Dodgers. What were you? The girl.
Celebrity girl, I guess. Celebrity gal.
That's how you met. I forget his name.
Ty.
Yes.
Yeah. We met when he threw out a first pitch. So
Yes.
Just a funny meet cute, I guess.
But you also met the Modern Family guy. I forget what's him.
Eric,
through working there as well, right? Because I was listening to that podcast.
Yeah, that's how you met Eric. Yeah, okay, that's what. Yeah, so
that's what
Kat
Kat's
met everybody.
Guys. Like all my favorite guys in my life, I met at work. So
great.
But the sports crossover is something so unique, and I think cities that have that opportunity, like Pittsburgh was also one of them, and they did a really good job of bringing kind of these communities together just to make it more of a force and kind of an impact in that city. So I think Detroit really leaning into that now that all four teams, baseball, hockey, 4 teams are doing really well. It's really building momentum, I think, and it's really fun to watch and see everybody kind of lean into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to bring it up. I was Googling Dylan, as I said, and a very funny commercial came up.
The hockey butt commercial.
Yes. I'd like your reaction. I'd like to know everything about it, how it came about. I want to know how he reacted to them making him do like a slow motion squat on camera.
You know what? I wish I could give you more detail, but him and I haven't really like talked about it. But I will say that when we first started dating, I never really Googled him. Like I didn't want to know, especially like when I didn't meet him first. I feel like it would just kind of maybe give me the ick. Like I didn't want to know anything about like
less is more.
Yeah. So, but someone did send me, I think it was one of my girlfriends, because I had told them I'm like talking to this new guy or whatever, and she sent me the commercial and I had watched it and I was like, oh my God. Like, is this actually like what he's like, you know? And it's if you meeting Dylan, he's like not that type of person, right? So I don't even think he knew what he was getting himself into, but it was a hit. Like for that company, State and Liberty, like
State and Liberty, shout out State and Liberty.
No, literally though, it was a hit. So
he was just doing a solid for his guys from Michigan that needed a hockey butt, and Dylan's got it.
Yeah.
I was dying because I was telling Julie after I watched it yesterday and sent it to her to watch. I was like, I don't know Dylan. I've met him once, but I just don't see that as his like personality. Like,
no, it's not at all.
My response, because I had never seen it either until she sent it to me last night, and I'm like, my response is, I think he lost a bet. I think they made him do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I feel like he was not like, well, like he didn't really know what was gonna happen, but he did it, and it ended up being a
But
huge hit.
that's the thing about Dylan. He just always goes for it. And it like his personality can pull just about anything off just
Yeah,
because he can laugh his way through it and we can all laugh with him.
I mean, the
I know.
hockey butt thing is a very funny thing that we all know, right? Like their bodies,
100%. Yeah.
their
Yeah.
bodies are just a little bizarre
His
to.
and his happens to be like over the top, like bubble butt. It's crazy. So, I mean, it worked. But I think even in that commercial, he giggled, right? When he had said
Yeah,
like hockey butt or something.
you can hear it like chuckling, like, I can't
It was
believe
part
I'm
of the
saying
charm.
this.
Part of the charm.
Yeah.
Do you, as captain's wife, do you feel like you need to always host? Or I kind of know the answer that Julie does a lot too. So,
I feel like not so much anymore. I At the beginning I really took it on, and now I've just kind of relaxed, and I feel like so many girls are like willing to help, so it's like why do I need to take this all on when, so many other people can also do it. I ended up doing the Wives Fund this year, but last year I didn't end up doing it. To be honest, it's not my favorite thing, but I don't know. I'm sure some people can agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, Ken straight up asked me if I wanted to do the wives fund, and I said,
Absolutely not.
not particularly. That's the last
Thank
thing you
you for
want
the
me
help.
to be.
the wives fund also is different everywhere, right? So, like, I feel like people come in with opinions, and sometimes they're like, "Oh, that's not how we did it here." It becomes like
Yeah.
a stupid. I don't know.
Totally.
Always so many opinions, and it's like, well, I mean, and you know what, it was hard for me too because there wasn't a captain on the team when I first came in, so it's like someone didn't really like, I didn't know. Thankfully I had like Devin Helm and like Paige Glendenning, but other than that, like, gosh, I had zero idea.
Yeah, and for people that don't know what the wives fund is we the wives and girlfriends pay into just a pot of money, and it's different every year. It's different on every team, and it goes towards like baby showers, bachelorette parties,
Tipping the
Christmas
room.
parties, tipping the team service people, in the arena and things like that. So we all kind of pay into that, and then at the end of the year we do a end of season party, sometimes with the girls, sometimes not with the guys. So it all just goes into kind of fun things throughout the year.
Yeah, it's great. I feel like it always turns out to be good, but I just
It's
don't want to be the one to
You could
do
I was
it.
run
gonna
it
say
off
it's
next year.
great unless you're running it. Then it's then it's just like
Yeah.
a mess. But that's funny.
Sorry, I can't handle that. I didn't even pay into ours yet, and I'm hosting something at the end of the year, and I'm like, I'm just gonna put my towards that, and then we don't have to do any refunding or
Yeah,
exchanging
exactly.
money. So
Yeah, you keep it, Julie. You do you.
yeah,
You know what's funny? The guys put money on the board, right? So here, one of the things in San Jose is you put money on the board every time you play a former team.
yeah. Oh, that's all the time.
Okay,
Really?
not fair. Not
Yeah.
fair for Tyler.
Yeah, sorry, Ty, you're playing, but that's gotta like run out at some point. Be like,
I mean,
okay,
he's got to put his foot down, but we play LA like a billion times.
yeah. So
You know what I
maybe
mean?
Yeah.
explain the money on the board thing too, because I feel like some people might not know what that means as well.
Yeah, Ken's, do you want to take that one?
Wait, oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah.
Wait, what money on the board? I don't even know, I don't think.
Oh,
Like, do I know? I don't
the
think I
money.
do.
It's
Maybe
the
you
guy.
don't know.
I don't think I do. Please, teach me.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that sounds like a normal my answer. I'm normally
Yeah.
like the one like what? Yeah, when the guys on each team, it's kind of their fund for certain things. Like, I don't even know.
it's
what do
like
they do?
it's like their
Team
rainy day.
parties?
Yeah, it's like their rainy day fund, and they put it there for rookie party, all the
Team
things like that,
parties, Halloween
gifts,
parties.
like big, like maybe like a trainer is doing like 1,000 games, and so then that goes towards that or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all very nice things. It's just it's just funny.
So
how
so guys before the game put money on the board, whether it's they're meeting a big milestone, whatever, and if they win, the money goes into the pot. No, if
Oh.
if
Oh,
they
see, I
win.
didn't even know that.
I don't
Dylan
even think
doesn't
we're doing
really,
a great
yeah,
job explaining this.
yeah, Dylan doesn't really talk to me about like their fund. I feel like I don't know. I feel like they do, you know, whatever with it. Like
I
half
only
of
know
it.
because I have to keep Venmoing people for all these damn games.
Oh, you have to What do you mean?
I have to Venmo the guy that's in charge of the team fund, Mario. Every time Type
Stop.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Tyler doesn't actually have cash.
No, we're going off Venmo here. So every time he's like, we played Montreal last night. Like, time
Oh
to Venmo
gosh.
Mario. I know it's.
That's
I
so
feel
funny.
like team parties funded by the Toffolis over here, I guess. But
I mean, I think Ken's and I too, we have this saying here of like what goes around comes around, right? Like
100%.
hosting, things like that. It's like, I don't really worry about the team fund. It's
oh
like,
no, yeah,
you
hosting.
know, girls, when I was a rookie and young girl, there was no way I was hosting A because I was like intimidated and didn't like know what to do. But, you know, I just think that everybody was so generous when I was a young girl that now it's my turn to give that sort of back. So I don't think we think two things about it.
No, when it comes to hosting like something like a Thanksgiving or something, that is the most fun thing to do on a team, you know? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
for sure.
okay, I think we can get into our quick shootout questions. Ken's, we have a couple fun ones for you. This is so funny to start it off with you because I literally always ask Ken's this question. She's my go-to girl with, what are you watching right now?
Oh my gosh. Right now we just started The White Lotus because the season 3 just came out. So we just started that. Love it so far.
Mm-hmm.
so
Did
good.
you watch that, Julie?
Yeah, we're watching. So I think that's on cue tonight because it came out last night too late for us to stay up.
Yeah.
So
I know we didn't watch it. Kat, are you watching it too?
Yeah, but I'm still on season 2 being the best so far,
Okay. Okay.
in my opinion. But this is getting good.
oh, I 100%. I'm like sleeping like when I open watching this one. I'm like still Italy was the best. Like nothing can change that for me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think Severance is also a good one. It's interesting, but yeah, it's good. You have to kind of, I don't know. You either love
you have
it or
to
you hate it.
I
focus.
gotta start.
Yeah, it's really, but it's interesting. It's a little slow at first, but it gets really good. Yeah, I would
Okay.
suggest it.
I'll
Yeah.
put that on my list. Although Jeff probably watches it without me when he's gone. So
Same with Ty, probably. Okay, favorite place you and Dylan have ever traveled together?
Oh, I feel like there's a lot. I mean, I love going home with him to North Bay in the summer. That's always like a good time, and we love Cabo. So those two, I would say.
my favorite place to travel with Dylan is London, England. I got to experience that this last summer and went to a soccer game. Jeff and I just happened to meet up with him and his dad at the FA Cup, and I like a whole new side of Dylan. Larkin was just
He's a good travel buddy. He really just like takes over, and he's so good at like his like where we are, and he's great.
the
He's
best.
definitely- Yeah, he's a good
That's
travel buddy.
that's a great trait in a husband. Just
Truly.
travel buddy. That it really is the best.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about Dylan?
My favorite thing about Dylan, this might be the cheesiest thing ever, but his heart. He has the best heart.
That's not cheesy.
He-
That's adorable.
Yeah, he's just the best. Not even just because he's my husband, but he really is like the best guy. And I think everyone would say the same thing.
I can concur. He is the best.
Okay, so is there anything he does that annoys you?
Um,
Since he's the best, there's got to be something.
If there's not, then we have a problem.
Yeah.
oh,
Do we got any pet peeves going with him?
I think he's a little messy. Like I think picking up after him, like his clothes, like he could be probably better at putting them in the hamper. Yeah.
How about how cutting it close to getting to the rink on time or making sure he wakes up in time? That stresses me out because I can see his car in the driveway. And when my husband leaves like an hour and a half before him on practice days, and I'm like, should I text Kins to see if Dylan is like missed his alarm? Like I'm being total mom mode of like, and now it's a running joke. Like Dylan's like, did you see how close I cut it today? I'm like, don't ever do it again.
And I don't know how he does it because I guess this is one thing that Dylan and I butt heads on is that like I am so timely, like to the point where I'm too early
Oh,
almost. Like
yes. I c-
always, always, always on time. It is like I cannot be late. I just can't do it. So for him to wake up and literally, I think he sets his alarm and then he has like 30 seconds to wake up and then he's out the door. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. He, he does it.
It's funny. It's pretty amazing how he can
He cuts
he
it
can
close, let me tell
function.
you though.
Yeah, he sure
Let me tell
does.
you. Yeah.
Um, okay, my question. What is the one makeup product thing in your drawer that you can't live without right now?
Oh, you know me, I'm not really like a huge makeup girl, but probably like my Summer Fridays lip,
I
just
love that. It's
yeah,
easy. I'm
simple.
actually looking for mine right now. I usually have one right here by my computer, and it's bothering. I think the boys took it and are using it as a marker.
Yeah, like I'm not a blush person because I feel like my cheeks are always like red, so if I put blush on, it just doesn't work. But no,
Yeah,
I would say the Summer Fridays lip.
love that.
Okay, Dylan's pregame meal.
Pre-game meal. Well, he's actually started making his own.
What?
And it is,
That's interesting.
yes. Yeah, they would always go to Sal's. It's like a Italian restaurant here in Birmingham, but he started making his own. And he's pasta. He's gluten free right now, actually.
Wow.
Pasta with chickpea pasta and then chicken.
Wow. So he's coming home and boiling the pasta and
Yeah.
doing
Sometimes
it
I'll help
all.
him out a little bit if I'm home. Like I'll help, you know.
Do you have friends, Kat? You too. Sorry, we're gonna digress a little bit, but like I know some girls that have cooked every single pregame meal for their husbands or boyfriends from day one, and I'm like jaw on the ground. Like that, like their whole day revolves around making chicken parm, like
We go
chicken
in waves.
parm.
Yeah, we go in waves. In Montreal, I was making him chicken parm
Oh,
before.
Kat, you too? Holy shit. Oh
Yep.
my God, we're not worthy. I'm like throwing him a box of goldfish and saying, good luck, buddy.
I mean, I had the time, especially there during COVID, but I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
here
amazing.
here I make the pasta.
You heard it here. Dylan Larkin making his own pregame meal.
That is
And
very
yeah.
interesting. I've
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
heard that.
I shouldn't say he did it all season. He's just started maybe like a couple months ago, but it's
Whatever
great. He
works.
likes it, and I'll help him boil the water. He's actually turning into quite the chef. I gotta give it to
I
him.
mean, with a kitchen that looks like yours now, you better be. That
I
thing is
know.
gorgeous.
No,
Well,
he's cooking away.
so a sidebar from his pregame meal that he cooks, are there
Yeah.
any superstitions that he has?
No, Dill's not really no, there's nothing crazy. No. No, he's pretty chill actually.
Just a chill chef. That's cool.
Yeah.
Chill chef.
Yeah, just a chill chef for sure. No, there's nothing crazy.
I love that.
Wow.
Dylan, kind of come over. When are you going to invite us over for dinner, guys? Actually,
I
tell
know.
us, tell us when.
Well, now that
Um,
Jeff knows, Jeff can go over there for pregame meal now.
yeah, really. Okay, what is a favorite concert you and Dylan have gone to recently?
Zach Bryan concert.
That was epic.
Were
That
you
was a
together?
great
Is that?
one.
We met up.
Oh.
Yeah, we just like yeah, we saw each other.
There's something about Detroit and the summer concert series here and the amount of players that are here that it just becomes like this whole meeting spot and it just becomes a night and it's
Where was that
honestly
one?
Ford Field.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super fun.
You know what? I think I'm done with Ford Field though. Like I think I could do Ford Field like once a summer and then I'm done. Like I'm done.
I
I
don't
never want
even
to see it again.
Ford Field concerts are tough. If
Is it
you're
hard to
not
get in and out?
well,
Like, is it
when
hard
you
to,
have when you're with Dylan Larkin, you can get in and out real quick. But it's just it's a lot. It's just a lot. Like I prefer a DTE like Pine Knob. That's just like the intimate like place and LCA. Kens had told me, and I just recently, a group of us went to Kelsey Ballerini at LCA, and that concert, the concert wasn't that great. The atmosphere, I was like, I need to come back and have like a Post Malone here.
Yeah, we went to Post Malone a couple years ago with some of the girls. It was like right, I think, at the beginning of the season, and it was the coolest thing. I mean, even we saw the Lumineers one year too. It's the best for concerts.
Yeah.
Okay, so finally, before we wrap this up, what would the perfect off day be for you two?
The perfect off day, we like to just chill. We like to hang out. We'll run some errands. We'll probably go to the grocery store, but we like to just hang out. Dylan's really into reading right now, so he'd probably just read his Kindle that I got him for Christmas, and I would just hang out and do nothing, which is just nice.
Sounds
It is
lovely.
nice to do nothing.
Get a nap in since you can't sleep when he's gone, you know? Like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well,
No, we
thank you
love it.
so much for thanks for joining us and telling us all that. That was great, and it was nice to meet you again.
Yes. Hopefully
Yeah,
you can come
thanks,
out and hang
Ken.
out with
Thanks
us in the
for-
summertime.
That would be fun. Let's do that.
Come on.
All right, that was fun. Kenzie's great. What a fun neighbor you have.
The best.
I enjoyed the funniest thing, obviously, other than the commercial. I love that he cooks his pregame meals. I think that's like
That was new to me too. I'm like, invite us over for dinner, guys. Like, I want to see what you got, your skills you got there.
it's funny. I've never heard that
Yeah.
before, and we hear
I feel like that'd be something Jeff would do, to be quite honest.
yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. But
Well,
anyways.
so it is a big week here in our husband's
oh
world.
my gosh.
Trade deadline is coming
Yeah.
up, and we are
The date
very
that's
se-
circled on everyone's hockey calendars.
yeah. Julie and I are very sensitive to this week. It is emotional. It is crazy. I mean, as people that have been in this position many times, I will say what you do during this week is you look at your phone. For me, I
It's
read all the tweets.
Too much screen time is what it is.
Yeah, and I think that so I get asked this question all the time. Is like, how does a trade work? Like, are you just blindsided, right? And for the most part, no, you know it's coming. Like you're told by the GM, your agent, whatever. I was kind of thinking of it's kind of like when you're about to get proposed to and your friend's like, maybe you should get a manicure, you know? Like you don't know when it's coming, but you know it's maybe
it's
coming.
soon.
So it's kind of like that, but in a dark way. But yeah, you just the thing is, you know it's coming, you just don't know when it's coming, and now we're on that week where it really picks up, and yeah, it's a crazy week for everyone.
Yeah, a
So
lot of significant others are on pins and needles this week for sure. Kind of playing through, I would think, every scenario, right? There's always different scenarios that you're either given or you read into, and you something could be completely false, and your brain will read into it more and you might make it make sense.
yeah,
So it's just a big mind game up until Friday, which is exhausting. And then, the logistical parts play into it, and players are on the next plane to get into whatever city it is to play in that game that night, if possible.
well that is another thing that people wouldn't know. Like it's not like you could be on a road trip and you're on the next plane to that new city, and you're
With one
wife
pair
or-
of underwear
Yeah,
and
with-
one suit.
always Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and then if you have a girlfriend or wife, then we'll go find you wherever that new place is, and maybe
Yeah.
bring you a suitcase of things. But if you're single, that's where the teams kind of come in, or like a wife like you and I. Sometimes I've helped
go pack up your stuff.
yeah, I've helped a couple of the young guys before. So it's
crazy.
kind of a team effort, So, and then what happens after you get the call and then you're on that first flight? Then the new team steps in and will help you move. That's
The
normally
transfer of power.
yes, yes. But you still gotta, like, it's funny. People have asked me, like, what happens to like your fridge at at home. Like, you know what I mean?
You
like,
give
if you
away all your groceries. That's what you do. Like, I gave away all of our bison, our half a bison we owned in Edmonton, and you get a bag of bison.
You know, I was thinking of ties, like all the trades, and the craziest one was the Montreal one, because we knew it was coming because, you know, they went to the Stanley Cup final and then made history the next year as like last place. Remember that fun stat that we got to learn? So I knew it was coming, but then I didn't know when. So I was confidently in LA at the Super Bowl, just like living life, like had a flight the next day to Montreal. So I was not blindsided that the trade was happening, but
It's just
blindsided on when. Yeah. So
Well, more of these stories next week for sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna tap into all of that and have a guest that's gonna lean into it too with us. So
yeah, for sure.
more to share, and we'll be able to debrief what actually happens.
And just to everyone in the position right now in this world, I know a lot of wives listen to this. You know, we're here for you. We sympathize. It's a crazy time, and I just hope that everyone has a week that's not as stressful as can be, I guess.
All right, thanks for listening to Never Offside. Just go like, subscribe, follow, share. Listen in, go back to previous episodes and listen in to our previous guests. We had Nick Suzuki's soon-to-be wife, Natalie Miller last week, Kevin Connolly, you know, you name it, Eric Stone Street, and Garzy. So, lot to listen to. And how can I forget Angela Price?
Yeah,
Damn.
I was going to say.
Yeah, sorry, Ange. Go back and listen. Do what you do. We appreciate it. Thanks for listening.